Hi, I'm Dan, and welcome back to the Rock Nerd Radio Show here on YouTube. In recent years, we've gotten two Stunticons in their G2 color schemes, and recently, we've gotten a third in Breakdown.
Come geek out with us on the Rock Nerd Radio Show.
So like I said, we've just gotten a G2 Breakdown figure, and he is going to be the focus of the video today, but I also wanted to talk about these G2 Stunticons in general, all of them together in general, because we have all the G1 Stunticons. We have that fabulous Legacy Motormaster or Minosaur combiner. Now we are very close to getting a G2 Minosaur combiner, and we're going to talk about the chances of that happening as we go through this video. But I just wanted to wheel out the three that we have so far, the three Stunticons that we have, to show you how they kind of look. And we are going to really look at Breakdown since he is the newest one. And honestly, out of these three, he might be the boringest one. You do see the really cool G2 Decepticon logo on his hood, but otherwise the car is just this teal with some purple black wheels. Of course, you have a peg sticking out in the back where there's no peg in the front, so that kind of is a bit of a mismatch. But same thing on the other side. We do have these clear plastic windows so you can see the innards of the robot. Not a whole lot going on everywhere else. The spoiler is a single piece that does come out, but I'm just going to put it back on for now. That's going to come back into play later. We will be talking about that. Looking at the underside, you can see there is weapon storage, and you can see some of the robot mode stuff in there as well. But the reason why I'm saying that Dead End here, or Breakdown rather, is the boringest one here is when we look at some of our other Stunticons, we do have some cool tampo effects on Drag Strip, or Shadow Strip as he was called on his package. There is some like racing flag decals, and these wheels tend to look a little better as they all have the black pegs sticking through with the gold hubcaps. Some nice blue highlights in areas as well. No Decepticon symbol on the figure though in vehicle mode, as you can see. So Shadow Strip looks pretty cool. And then of course we do have Dead End. Dead End has this cool, I don't know what this is. It almost looks like an eyeball or something, or some kind of 90s deco, but has this on top of the roof. You see it again. The wheels look really good on this one. They do match. We have the G2 Decepticon logo on the hood, as well as some cool paint marks, and I can never get the legs to fully stay together. That was the problem with the regular release as well, but here's the underside if that is interesting you, an interest to you. Well, tell you what, we are going to take Breakdown, and we are going to transform him, and then we're going to look at all three of these in their robot mode. So this is Breakdown in his robot mode, and just to bring him a little closer to the camera, this head is a toy accurate, or toy deco head. I guess the one that originally came out when in his G1 colors was based more off the animation, so there is the difference there. You can also see the purple carrying on very nicely along with the teal, silver on the chest there, nice blue on the face, a little darker than I think what the purples and the blues I think a little darker than the original G2 figure, which was never actually released until I think Breakdown was a TFCon exclusive or something, or a BotCon exclusive. Now, I do have the pieces on his backpack opened up, as the instructions say. I honestly prefer to keep them closed up when I display him in his robot mode, and I think it still kind of sits nicely on this windshield here. So, yeah, he has a bit of a backpack, but I still think it looks pretty good. In terms of articulation in his robot mode, the head is on a ball joint, so it will look left to right, and then you get a little up and down and stuff. The arms will move all the way around. You do have to move them around the car body piece, but that is how they move. Arms go out as well, full rotation up there at the shoulder. We get about 90-degree elbow bend, maybe just a smidge more. Nothing at the wrist unless you count going in for transformation. At the waist, we do have full 360 swivel, so he will go fully around. And at the legs, they're going to kick forward that far. Because of transformation, they also go back as well. Full rotation at the thigh. And Did I show that they kick out? Because they do. They kick out pretty high, as you can see, the legs. Knees bend. You can get, it's a little more than 90 degrees, but eventually stuff starts kicking into, his backpack here. Nothing else at the leg in terms of articulation except the foot, of course, which can go forward, again, because of transformation, but you could get him in like a running pose. And then we do have some nice ankle tilt on there as well, so he will be able to get into a couple nice stances. I will say the joints on mine, especially the legs, are very like ratchety. You don't hear them necessarily, but like they click. So, you might not be able to get him into every position you want, but he does have that. In terms of weapons, he has his spoiler and he has his blaster, and you can just have him hold the blaster. You can also have him hold the spoiler as if it is some type of axe weapon. One of the things the instructions tell you to do is actually to put the spoiler on the weapon. Actually, I think I just flipped it. There we go. Let's put it like that. And then he can hold his blaster by the barrel, and now he has more of an axe weapon that he could chop with. I am more of a fan, definitely, of having him hold the blaster as an actual blaster. And, this, whatever. It is what it is. If I were to put him into his leg mode, this would just be on the back of his car leg. And you can store it if you wanted to on the back of his car leg. It doesn't really, it doesn't make a terribly, it's not like an eyesore to stick it there. So, you can put it there and it looks pretty good. So dead end looks pretty neat. Let's bring back in the other two, and just to talk about him real quick. Dead End over here, I'm sorry, I think I just called him Dead End. He's Breakdown. This is Dead End. Dead End over here was released as part of the Toxitron collection, and he was released as G2 Dead End. That's what it said on the package, G2 Universe Dead End, just alluding to a Generation 2 version of Dead End. Whereas Wild Rider, or not Wild Rider, I keep messing up all the Stunticons names. Whereas Dragstrip, who was released as Shadowstrip, was acknowledged by the Transformers team as being a different character from the G2 universe, although the designer did note that it could totally be just a G2 version of Dragstrip, which is what I consider it. I don't consider this to be a different character. This was part of the Walmart Velocitron Speedia 500 collection. It looks pretty neat. I like it. He doesn't have a Decepticon logo on him anywhere, so you don't necessarily have to claim him to be a Decepticon if you were using him as a different character. But here are these three together, and I think overall they do look pretty good. Now, what I wanted to really focus on and talk about for a moment in this video is, are we going to get a legacy version of Minosaur? Because, quite honestly, they could easily sneak Wild Rider into anything. We do have the upcoming Age of the Primes toy line, and you could sneak Wild Rider in as just a deluxe in his G2 color scheme. That's kind of what they did with Breakdown. While these two were in exclusive capsules at Walmart, Breakdown was just a release. He is just a release from Legacy United. He's in the final wave of it, which the final wave seems to be all like repaints and such. So, I think we could easily get a Wild Rider in here in that, gaudy yellow color scheme. The big question mark for me is Minosaur. I think we could get a G2 Minosaur, but it's a Commander class figure. Maybe it would be exclusive to Hasbro Pulse or some type of convention exclusive. I think it could happen. I feel like the chances of it aren't the best. Now, I would be more than happy in a year to be eating my words and to be able to have that legacy Minosaur skeleton for the G2 guys. Now, granted, you could stick all these bots on the Minosaur that's already out in place of their G1 versions. And it works, it works fine. But I really want to have a new G2 one. While I do have the Combiner Wars G2 Minosaur, I think I would be very happy to have that new kind of skeletal Minosaur where the cards plug on, that very animation accurate. I think I'd like to have that G2 Minosaur on my shelf. just because, you know, like that Legacy Minosaur was so good. Just really, I love that thing. Really looking forward to what they do with Superion at the recording of this video, because I think that looks great too, and he functions very similarly to that Minosaur. So I'm hoping we get some cool stuff. But look, if these are the only 3 G2 Stunticons we get in the Legacy line, I'll be okay. They'll stand on my shelf separate and just kind of there, but I would very much like to have a G2, full G2 Minosaur. I think that would be really, really neat. So let me know in the comments down below, did you get G2 Breakdown? I know the original Breakdown figure that came out was a little hard to come by. Are you using G2 Breakdown as your G1 Breakdown? Or are you just sticking him on your Minosaur to have a complete Minosaur? Let me know your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. And are you hoping we get a G2 Minosaur like I am? Let me know. All right. Thanks for tuning in. I've been Dan. You've been pretty awesome. I'll see you next time. Hey, thanks for checking out this video. I really appreciate it. If you want to leave a like or a comment, down below underneath this video, it goes a long way to help out the channel. You know what also helps? Subscribing. That goes a long, long way. So I would really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. You can also check out the Rock Nerd Radio Show podcast on your preferred podcast platform. It is a weekly podcast hosted by myself and my good friend Vinny. Together we discuss all different types of pop culture, whether it be comics, music, TV shows, movies, or collectibles. So check that out, once again, wherever you're going to get your podcasts. And you can also follow the Rock Nerd Radio Show on Instagram. That is the best place to interact with me. I would love it if you gave it a follow. So thanks for checking out this video. Until next time, I've been Dan. You've been pretty awesome, and I'll see you around.